Why did Boris Johnson, the UK's former Prime Minister, apologise for the COVID-19 outbreak? Today, we're going to dive deep into the events that led up to this moment. In the early days of 2020, the world watched in stunned silence as a mysterious virus began to spread from Wuhan, China. Within weeks, the virus had reached every corner of the globe, with the United Kingdom being no exception. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister at the time, found himself at the helm of a nation in crisis. In the initial stages, Johnson's government was accused of being slow to react. Many critics argued that the government didn't fully grasp the severity of the situation. There were delays in implementing lockdowns, and a lack of personal protective equipment for healthcare workers soon became a major concern. As the virus continued its relentless spread, the UK's death toll began to rise rapidly. By April, the nation was recording thousands of deaths per day, a figure that was met with shock and despair by the British public. Amid this mounting crisis, Boris Johnson himself contracted the virus. He was hospitalised and spent several days in intensive care, battling the very virus his government was fighting to control. After his recovery, Johnson faced an uphill battle. The public was losing faith in his government's handling of the pandemic. The pressure was mounting from all sides, with the opposition demanding answers and the public demanding action. In July of 2020, Johnson made a public apology. He admitted that there were many things the government could have done differently in the early days of the pandemic. He conceded that the government had made mistakes in its handling of the crisis and apologized to the families of those who had lost their lives. So why did Boris Johnson apologize for the COVID-19 outbreak? It was a combination of mounting public pressure, a rising death toll, and a personal battle with the virus that led him to this point. His apology was an acknowledgement of the government's missteps and a promise to learn from them. In summary, the COVID-19 outbreak in the UK was a period of immense challenge and learning. It began with a government that was accused of being slow to react, a rapidly rising death toll, and a Prime Minister who contracted the virus. The pressure culminated in Boris Johnson's public apology in July of 2020, where he acknowledged the government's mistakes and promised to learn from them. It's a story of crisis, resilience, and ultimately, an apology that marked a turning point in the UK's handling of the pandemic. Through it all, it reminds us of the importance of swift action, clear communication, and the humility to admit when we've got it wrong.